how it feels to be a black man. That's what you asked. How does it feel to be a black man?
Yeah. Well, what does it mean to be a black man?
What does it mean to be a black man? It means perseverance. Ever since I was little, I've been under constant suppression, pressure. I've been constantly suffocated by, all these different variables, and this pressure, it really comes down on you. And just living to the age we are today means that we have persevered through a lot of stuff, a lot of things we've persevered through, and a lot of people don't take that into consideration.
I don't necessarily think that it only means one thing to be a black man. I think being a black man incorporates many things. One of the more common ones is strength. I think a man must be strong to care for his family, his wife, his children. But I also think a man must be able to love unconditionally his family, his friends, and must be able to express that love in different ways. I think for a man, it's important to also have the ability to care and to show that care, regardless of which direction society is pushing you towards, in terms of that strength that I mentioned in the beginning.
Based off my definition, a black man is one who he is the person that is resilient, strong, the person who has to kind of lie to himself to fit in. And I think, how society views him is the same way he kind of views himself, in a sense that society tells him he has to be tough, he has to be hard, he has to be all of these things physically, but society doesn't teach him how he should be emotionally. And I think that reflects a lot back on black men, like not knowing how to express themselves emotionally. So how he defines himself is very well tied into how society defines him.
There's the base level of this is the color of my skin, and that is what I have to walk through the world with. In terms of how society defines black masculinity, I think you're looking at something that's very we're put in a box of being you need to perform this way in order to fulfill the stereotype, or perform this way to get over the stereotype. So there's always that boundary of this is how you succeed. So you either, if you're a black man, in terms of the stereotype, you listen to hip hop, you live in inner city, whatever, and you getting deeper into things you don't take care of your family, or you hustle is a thing, and not in the sense of just hustling and finding ways to gain this or get money here or get money there. And to get over that, you have to dress in a different way, different things and things of that nature. And then once you get over that, people don't treat you as a black man, if you know what I'm saying. I look back at I don't know if it's cliche, but the OJ thing, just because Jay-Z's been talking, but I'm not black, I'm OJ. It's not just the way he differentiates himself, it's the way that the people around him don't see him as black, because he doesn't hang in these circles, or he doesn't do these things, or he doesn't he is past a level of success where being black is not a needed part of his identity.
To me, being a black man actually is something that has changed over time. I went to a prep school where I was really the only black person in a white person's friend group. So it was anytime something was a stereotype that was black, it was you're not being black. But if I was playing basketball, if I were cracking jokes, if I were talking about rap music, it was like, oh, he's being black. Or like even like, oh, you're playing black music, where it was like something that's rap depicting what black stereotypes are. Now I think that definition has changed for me, because I think that regardless of how you fit into black stereotypes, you're a black man as long as you identify yourself as one, and as long as you really identify yourself as one, like truly. Because I think regardless of whether you fit into stereotypes or not, I think that people see the color of someone who's black, and can see that they're that in society, and will treat them the same regardless of whether or not they fit into stereotypes. I think it's whether or not. I think there's a visual aspect of it, and it's also just like a self-identity that is inherent with someone who's grown up and being a black man.
A man who has to overachieve everything in life, because you're looked at differently, and some may say, oh no, you're not, but you just have to look at it. You got to be realistic with yourself. You see it in everyday news. You see it when you go to different towns. You just always have to maintain, and overachieve, because as a black man, you are the underclass. You are low. You are not born. Not saying that every African American man or black man isn't, born into success, but as a black man, I feel as though you should try to overachieve everything, because being a black man is very hard in life. It is, because you are not treated equally. Some people may love you, some people may not love you, but yeah, that's pretty much it. A black man is an overachiever.
To be a black man in America is just to always be aware and just know that you have to work a lot harder than more people. Alright, so I'm about to go to college, so I know that these applications, I gotta do all the applications and stuff. I know I gotta present myself a lot more than, let's say, a white person has to. I have to bring out what I know, like, more extra. I have to put a little more oomph into my academics, into just everyday life, just to get by. But I'm fine with that.
I think it's made more complex than it actually needs to be. I think to be a black man, you just need to have melanated skin. You need to grow up in the black culture. If you have the skin tone, if you have even a lighter skin tone, but you still have melanin in your skin, I believe you're still a black man. We all get treated the same.
Being a black man, in my eyes, it's filled with a lot of struggle, especially in society. We're kind of like stereotyped, and we're kind of viewed as these negative figures, people that kind of have like little value, not able to contribute to society as to like our other counterparts. It's just very tough living a life as a black male, because you're always viewed, you're always looked down upon as less than anybody else.
My dad gave me this definition when I was young, and it stuck with me since, and it has been my definition. An intelligent black man is the most feared creature on the planet. And I've seen and I've experienced how that is evidently true. And that's what being a black man means to me. Not in the like, we go hard or like we, feel me, in that type of way, but we are the most, why do you think they're killing us off in any way possible? We are the most feared creature on the planet. And society wouldn't acknowledge that, they wouldn't like to admit that. But of course society would deem us thugs, with our do-rags and our tank tops. they would consider us animals. That's why they want to lock all of us up in cages for small minor offenses for years.